Learning a language is not that easy. We have to go through each and every phase in order to get this fluency. And you know what, guys? There were some times and there were some days when I tried to hunt for some ways, simple ways to reach this fluency as early as possible. Because I was very keen to talk in this language and I was very keen to achieve this fluency as soon as possible because all I want is to become fluent in this language. So, what I used to do, I used to completely ignore what kind of a methods they are and what kind of a fruits they are gonna yield at the end of the day. But what I need is that time. I just want a technique or a method which is gonna help me improve my language. Same time, it should be very easy and effortless. So, this is what I used to think. I used to search and I used to hunt for many simple ways to improve my language. And that is when I found one method, that is to learn or to improve English while we are sleeping. Is it possible to learn English while we are sleeping? Of course, guys, there are so many answers to this question. Someone will say yes to this question and someone will say no to this question. But when it comes to me, there is a absolutely no, because it used to completely disturb my sleep, and at the same time I wouldn't be able to grasp what they are trying to say because I was half asleep, right? So how am I supposed to get the words or the vocabulary words what they are trying to produce in those respective podcasts? It is not possible, guys. I wasted a lot of time by just implementing this method to improve my English fluency. I just want to tell you one thing, guys. Please do not implement this type of methods. If you think you just want to experiment it in your journey, in your English journey, then you can do it. But please do not invest a lot of time on these tricks or methods because it is not going to yield any positive result or any growth in your fluency, guys. We won't be able to observe a massive growth because what we are doing here, we are doing nothing. We are becoming slumber and lethargic, and we are not learning this language effectively while we are sleeping. We will become inactive, guys, first of all, and we are trying to learn this language passively instead of actively, right? So as a result, what we get nothing. We just follow this type of methods or techniques in order to improve our English. That is right. Of course, I do agree with it, but we don't get the results that we desired for or that we wished for by the morning. We think that, okay, now I'm going to turn on the podcast while going to sleep or during the sleep so that I can improve my English and I can also fall asleep. So, this is what, guys, we actually think. But what happens? We become completely inactive. We won't be able to understand or we won't be able to grasp words, whatever they are saying in that podcast. So, guys, what happens here actually, our subconscious mind will be able to grasp some, maybe some points, okay, but not all the things. What happens when we wake up by the morning? Do we able to remember all the words, whatever we have heard last night? Do we able to remember whatever the words we had heard last night? No, we won't be, guys. We can't remember each and every word that is spoken in that podcast because we were sleeping and at the same time we are just imagining that we are listening to that podcast. I used to do this thing, guys. I used to turn on the podcast and I used to be active for 5 minutes, maximum for 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, I used to fall asleep. I do not even know when do I fall asleep. I do not even know how much attention I'm giving to that podcast. I just fall asleep and I start dreaming. So this is what gonna happen every single day. So just do one thing, guys. If you want to improve your English during sleep, then please drop the idea of improving your English like this. But we can swap this method with another technique. That is, just try to give yourself 10 minutes of time, guys, before you are going to hit the sack. That 10 minutes, you can just try to recollect the words, whatever you have learned all that day. That means vocabulary words. And you might be watching some movies or Netflix series or anything, whatever. You might be listening to any podcast, or you might be reading some books in order to improve your English. So try to recollect all those things before you are going to sleep. It is just like a recap, guys. Just try to narrate to yourself whatever you have done in the morning, whatever you have done that whole day. So this is how you're gonna improve your English, by talking to yourself. And you can also expose yourself to this language a lot, guys. It will indirectly help you to think in English, guys. When you start talking to yourself, when you start narrating the whole day before you are going to hit the sack. And after realizing I was not able to understand, or I was not able to learn even a single thing by learning English during sleep, I just dropped this idea, guys, and I started learning this way. That means narrating activities, whatever I do in the morning, or narrating any story to myself. That means any simple story that is related to your life, not any fictional story, not any animated story. This time you just describe your own story about your habits, or about your work, or about your activities. Whatever you want to describe, you can describe to yourself, because you won't take that much time when you talk about yourself, guys, because you are very familiar with yourself, right? You don't need any introduction, and you do not need any type of assistance to just tell something about yourself. When you have been given any random topic, you need to search about that topic, that specific topic, on internet. Am I right? Of course, because this is what I also do, guys. And to be honest, of course, I also search for some words that I could use in this topic, like this. But whenever we get a chance to talk about ourselves and our daily routine, we don't need to search on YouTube or anywhere, because nobody will post any video regarding our lives, right? So that is why it's gonna make you a way very easier to learn language in this way, guys. So please do not try to learn this language or achieving fluency by just listening to podcasts during sleep. It is just like a nightmare, guys. You cannot achieve fluency by just listening. We all know that picking up a new skill from scratch is an arduous task for us. So please, guys, do not try this method to improve or to elevate your English skills. If you want to experiment it, you can do it, guys. Observe the growth when you are following this method. But at the same time, guys, we have to keep in our mind one thing, that is, it also deteriorate our health, because we need enough sleep to be active in the other day, right? So we have to get enough sleep if we want to be active and energetic by the next day. Okay, guys, this is what all I wanted to say. I'll catch you in my next video. Till that time, please do not forget to be happy and to be optimistic. Arey yaar, you will definitely reach this fluency, okay? I'm there, okay? So please do not even give a fig about this English fluency. We all gonna reach it one day or the other day. So please do not put a lot of pressure on your shoulders by to learn this language at your own pace, okay? Bye bye. Keep smiling and keep learning.